When you turn your faucet on at home, have you ever wondered where your water comes from? Well, today we're going to take you behind the scenes at the Xenia Water Treatment Plant to show you exactly how we treat your water safely. We're joined today by Mr. Joe Bates. Joe is our water treatment plant supervisor, our local subject matter expert. He's licensed in the state of Ohio for our water treatment services.
The facility here services roughly 30,000 people in the community. We produce 3 million gallons a day on the average, and this facility was put online in 1982. Let's go take a tour.
Well, Joe, it all starts right here. Tell us where we're at and what we see here with us.
Yeah, we're currently in the Old Town well field. We have 7 wellheads here, and we have another well field just over by the bikeway. It's the Massey Creek well field with 4. So we have a total of 11 wells just like this. These wells are drilled down into the ground. They've been here, some of them 80 years. They draw water from the Little Miami Buried Valley Aquifer, and it's much like you having a cup of ice with a drink and a straw in it, and you're pulling that water out of the bottom. It's the same with this aquifer. It's water moving underground through gravel and sand, and we're drawing that water up. We produce as much as 6 million gallons in one day. The plant's capable of 8 million. Our average is 3 million gallons a day.
So this is just the first stop of a multi-phase process to treat our water. Let's join the folks inside and see what happens to treat the water inside.
All right, let's go.
So Joe, we've drawn the water from the ground through the wells. It's pumped into the plant. What's the next phase here within the plant for treatment?
Next phase is, we're looking at it right here, aeration. We have 3 aerators. The water is literally coming down through these aerators. The iron is being oxidized out of the water, and that iron settles out in this tank that we're standing on here. And then periodically, maintenance we do is we have divers come in and clean the residue, the iron primarily. That gets pumped to sand filters that eventually go back to Massey Creek, the creek itself.
Joe, our next phase of treatment does not involve hot tubs or Roman baths, but why don't you explain to us what we have here?
What we have here is the filtration. This is the next stage of treatment. We have 4 filters. They're represented here, and what you see in these filters, you're just looking at the surface of the water, but the water would be up here. The water gets filtered down through the anthracite and then into the sand, which captures a lot of turbidity, particulates, and then it goes through the underdrain system, which the water can flow in either direction. And why you need that is because after the filter gets dirty, you do a backwash and you send the water back through it in the reverse direction and clean the filter, and then you put it back online. That gets done once a week for each filter. This control panel allows us to do that, do the backwash electronically. It opens and closes valves, and the operator controls everything right here.
Next stop in our behind-the-scenes tour takes us 3 stories below the surface of the plant. Joe, tell us what we're going to see here in this cavern.
This is the pipe gallery, and we're underneath where we were earlier, the filters, and below that is clear wells. We have a clear well over here and a clear well here, which total about 500,000 gallons that we have actually stored here at the water plant. The blue pipe you see next to me is the filtered water, and then the aqua pipe above me is the raw water that it comes from the aeration, and then the tan pipe is backwash water, and that's when we clean the filters, and that backwash water gets sent out to additional sand filters and then out to the creek with a NPDES permit, a permit from the Ohio EPA. But then there's additional treatment we do with chemicals, and that's injected right here. The chlorine gets injected, and then on the other side of this pipe is the orthopolyphosphate that we add to the water, and that's for corrosion control within the distribution system and in people's houses.
The treatment process to this point has seen the filtering to remove the suspended solids from the water, but this next phase we're going to talk about is extremely important because it helps to remove the microorganisms.
What we have here behind us is the chlorine storage. We use sodium hypochlorite, a liquid bleach, much like bleach you use for your laundry. It's important that we use chlorine. It leaves a residual in the system, so after it leaves the plant, it's still working, it's still disinfecting. Those levels are monitored 24/7. Those reports go monthly to the EPA, and they're at levels that are roughly 1 part per million, to where it's not a lot, but it's doing its job.
So we've filtered the water, we've treated the water. Joe, now we need to push the water out to our consumers. Tell us how these pumps do that.
Well, right now we're standing above the clear well, and we have 3 high service pumps that are behind me. They can pump roughly 3,000 gallons a minute. We have 3 of them because Ohio EPA loves redundancy. If one fails, you have another one, and then you have another one. These pumps will pump into the distribution system, leaving the plant right here. And there's 125 miles of water mains out in the distribution, and that connects to all our homes. And then also we have 5 water towers that at any given time we have 6 million gallons of water in the air. That develops pressure. Everybody wants a strong shower, and also it's good for fire flow. If there's a fire in the community, you have volume, you have pressure, the firefighters can do their job.
And Joe, we have then the ability to monitor the entire system from our control room here at the plant. And we take that step and each step of this process very seriously because water is the lifeblood of our community. Its quality, its reliability is extremely important to us because we know it's important to you and to your families. We have those operators that monitor those systems 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so from this water plant where we treat the water safely for you all the way to your homes, that's how the water's treated.
I'm Mayor Sarah Mays, and I approve of this water. Mmm.